Hello, good people. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna Vaughn. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Please remember to hit the like button and please share, like and subscribe. Subscribe and like the button, hit the like button, and then also please make sure that you are sharing the channel with others. Bring others over to the channel. I have been having some challenging technology issues this past week. I don't know if anyone else experienced this. Maybe it's Mercury rising. I don't know, but I'll be so glad when that shit is gone, so I can post the shorts because the shorts bring all the girls and the boys to the yard. So I need to post some of those, but you have some clips here under the videos as well. Down below, you have my name, correct spelling of my name. You have my IG page. Please pop on my IG page throughout the week if you need just a little pop of news before you go out for on your day or go about your day or midday and you don't have time to watch the full news because all the big stuff that's happening, trust me, it's going to be my IG page. And then you have my Cash App at the bottom. So if you want to bless a sister. Okay, that's so goofy, but it's fun. I don't know. The Bob is bobbing today, right? The Bob is bobbing. Okay, got to talk serious. Got to get serious for a moment. So where are we with this war? First of all, have we established whether or not it's a war? I have. But it seems that Republicans are having difficulty, even though their dear leader consistently repeats and says war. For some reason, they won't. They want to call it a conflict. They want to call it an entanglement. They come up with all kinds of words. They're twisting themselves into a pretzel. So this is a war in search of a strategy. And I believe that's why they are having such a hard time calling it and identifying it as a war. But let me tell you what we have. We have all the markers of a war, right? There are bombs, there are airstrikes. If you haven't seen it, because mainstream media is not covering it, because they are blocking certain sites and pages on social media, but I have found some. I have found a few here and there where you can see what is actually happening in Tel Aviv, what Tel Aviv actually looks like right now. Yes, there's a lot of damage being done in Tehran, but there's also an equal amount of damage being done in Tel Aviv. A lot of Israelis are living in parking garages in tents. Yeah, you haven't seen that on the news, have you? Okay, so they always want to present one way, but the truth is always something else. So we have the bombs, definitely have the airstrikes. We have military, definitely from the IDF, Iran, Lebanon. We have seen, and now, right now, this administration is talking about putting boots on the ground. And let me see, I want to get this correct. Is it the 86th? Yeah, no, the 86th, 82nd, my apologies, 82nd Airborne, 5,000 of those troops in the Army, they canceled their training and they've been put on hold, 5,000. So they can tell you one thing, but other information is coming out. The truth is coming out. So they are thinking about and planning to put boots on the ground. And then we have also Russia, China, and North Korea. They all chimed in this week. They all are threatening to tap in. They want to get in on the war. So, why this administration can't call it a war, I don't know. We have casualties. We also have casualties. We have 6 named service members that have been flown back to the United States in caskets because they lost their lives in this war. And let me say this, I'm also seeing video after video that the numbers are much higher. The numbers of American soldiers that have already been killed in this war is much higher than what this administration is telling us. And there has also been, okay, so one of the videos talked about Germany. What they're doing is sending the bodies to German hospitals. There's a hospital in Germany that had to clear out their neonatal ward in order to house these bodies. Now, this is a video that I said I don't have any verification of this. And I'm still searching for some more consistent information. But what is floated out there in social media is because they're trying to hide their numbers, they're shipping the bodies out of the area. And there's hospitals in Germany that are receiving the bodies. Also, another trusted source that I use their material sometimes, and I trust their material sometimes. Well, I trust their material all the time, is what I'm going to say. This person on March 4th posted about a job posting on Indeed. And the job posting is for a personal effects specialist. And basically, what they're looking for is people to prepare items to be returned to the families of deceased military members. There's a job posting, y'all. Now, if you have to post a job for a job opening for people to collect the items, your job is going to be to collect and gather the items for fallen soldiers and make sure it gets back to their families. There's a whole job that they're trying to hire for this. There's definitely more than 6 service members that have been unalived. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me that they are not. If there's a job posting to collect the belongings of military members. So we're hearing the numbers are in the hundreds as far as deceased, even more for those that are injured, and that these Germany hospitals are receiving bodies, and I believe wounded. And then there's this job posting. Okay. So you have the casualties. So my thing is, if we have the airstrikes, if we have the military members, if we have other countries trying to join in, China, North Korea, Russia, if we have the casualties, if it looks like a war and it facilitates as a war, then why aren't you calling it a war? DL Demon Queen Magic MAGA Mike Johnson, why aren't you calling it a war? Because it has all the makings of a war, clearly. So there's no strategy, though. So I believe that's why Republicans who value their seats, they want to maintain their jobs, they want to get reelected, they're walking this fine line on how they're identifying this. There's no strategy. The number one problem I have with this situation, there was never a strategy or a plan to get Americans out of this area, even though they knew and they were planning to go in on this illegal, unconstitutional, unprovoked war with Israel. Even though they were having talks and they were planning this, they never planned to how we're going to get Americans out. No one ever thought about that. So no strategy to get Americans out of the area. No exit strategy. They have gone from a few days to the 2 weeks. Again, that 2 weeks. They're always going to tell you 2 weeks. And now we have information that is being leaked to, I believe it was Politico, that they are planning to drag this out until September. September, right up to the midterm elections. And y'all know, I told you, my second theory about this is that it's to impact. They want to be involved in the war to use an excuse and to justify what they're going to do in regards to the midterm elections. I said that last week. So you have there's no exit strategy. There's no takeover strategy. The felon has been asked, okay, you did this to help with regime change. If that's what you're telling us, then who's the next person up? And then his response was, well, we had some people in line, but they're dead now. We killed them all. So he said the same thing about gas going up. Oh, well, if it goes up, it goes up. He's asked about, might there be strikes here on American soil? Well, people die, people die. I told you more people were going to die. Like, that's been his consistent response since last Saturday or last Friday, the 28th. 28th when this began. Well, if they die, they die. If the gas prices are higher, they're higher. Oh, well, it'll only be a little while. You'll only be uncomfortable for a little while. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, give it 2 weeks, give it 2 weeks. Same bullshit, the same bullshit. For Israel, you need to know that this is about them expanding territory. That's it. That's it. And I learned a lot more just this week. I don't want this one to be too long, so I'm not going to share it here. But I learned a lot more this week about why it is so challenging to get these MAGA folks to wrap their head around something different, some other possibility as to what is happening right in front of their eyes. And I'm going to put that in a separate video, but Israel is expanding territory, and I'm going to connect that in another video. Like I said, Russia, China, North Korea, they're looking to tap in to this, and that's the last thing we want. The last thing we want is for this to expand to other countries to get involved, and definitely not these countries. Definitely not. So, preparation. I told you this last year, and I'm going to give you this information again. For those of you that might not have heard it, for those of you that might not have believed me at that time, might not have prepared, I'm going to tell you the same things I told you last year. If you have not done so already, renew or get your passport. If you didn't listen to me last year, this is one of the first things I said when we saw the outcome of the election. I told you, get your passport. I don't care if you ever plan to leave Timbuktu, Lexington, Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia, wherever you are, California, I don't care. Get your passport. You're either going to need it for these elections, or God forbid, but you might need it to flee. Let's just be honest. You might need it to flee. Get your passport. Stock up on the food. Stock up on your water supply. If you've noticed, if you've seen some of the videos of the bombing that's happening overseas, they are targeting energy sources. They are targeting gas and oil plants. You have had whole cities in the dark, completely dark overnight, because they're targeting energy sources. So make sure, and gas prices are going up right now, y'all, and they're going to continue to go up. So if you just hearing this for the first time, go fill up your damn gas tank. It's just going to get higher from this point. Last week, I'm going to tell you, last Monday, I'm going to give you an exact number. And this is Los Angeles, California. So last Monday, I filled up regular gas, $4.69 per gallon gas, regular. Diesel was $4.89. That was last Monday. On Friday, regular gas, $4.89 per gallon. Diesel went up to $5.69 per gallon. That was less than a week. I'm going to go back Monday, right? I'm going to go back Monday and I'm going to see where it is exactly a week. And I'm going to keep track of this because the longer this goes on, the higher gas prices are going to go up. And then get you a go bag ready. Like I said, have that passport, the go bag. We have them here. Fires happen. You got to have a go bag. You got to have that, couple of days of clothing, have you some snacks, have you some flashlights, all those life sustaining little things that you need, put them in a go bag. All your personal data, important things that you don't want to leave behind, birth certificate, social security card, the passport, all those documents that you might need to cross over into another country, and you just might need for identification, whatever might go down, and you don't want to lose it. Have it, get it, and put it in your go bag. Now, preparation for the midterms. We have to stay 10 steps ahead of these people. And I've said this over and over because out of experience, when you are in an abusive situation, as I was in an abusive relationship for 8 years, I had to, somewhere along the way, I realized that I had to stay a couple of steps ahead of him at all times, or else it was going to be very bad for me. And that's what we have to do in this situation. You have to try to predict what the next behavior is going to be, what the next action is going to be. So you have something already in place to circumvent that. So it doesn't blow up in your face, because you're going to be the one, that's going to be left holding the bag. You're going to be the one that the bad shit happens to. So I'm going to encourage everyone. Primaries, every state, the primary in California is in June. Make sure that you know when the primaries are in your state. We just saw them happen in Texas. Make sure that you know and vote in both the primary and the regular election in November. Make sure, especially November, vote early. Vote early. You can avoid all this last minute bullshit that they're going to try. They're going to try to have the icy folks at the polls, I'm convinced. They're going to try to, this switching of locations, websites, crashing, all that bullshit. Anticipate it and prepare. As soon as the ballot hits, fill that sucker out. If you got drop boxes, if you got mail-in voting, do that. Don't even wait for the polls to open up. Do that. And then when they're open, and then when you see postings and emails and you receive them for working, sign up, volunteer to sign up. All the elderly people, they have done a wonderful job for years. But in this moment, I don't want grandma, grandpa, mima, papa. I don't want them at the polling places when these people are doing this crazy bullshit. They shouldn't have to deal with that. We can deal with that. We can deal with that. They've done their time. So be prepared to volunteer. Now, boomers, if y'all still want to do it, do the damn thing. Okay, I'm not trying to take you out of a job. I'm not trying to do that. You have done it well. I'm just saying that there are going to be people, I anticipate, bringing some bullshit to the polls, especially this administration, but you got some MAGA folks that will believe whatever the fuck they say, that's going to try to show up and try some bullshit. Okay. And so I'm saying protect our seasoned folks and let them have a seat in this election. And, maybe in 2028, things will be straight and they can get back out there again. But we have to be prepared. We have to be 10 steps ahead of the bullshit they're going to try to bring our way. 10 steps ahead. All right. That's it for this episode. I'll talk to everybody soon.